Hello and welcome along. Today on southwest Norway, we are still in search of a little more grass. We need some to feed the cows, as I forgot to put some in their trough yesterday. And we need some to do the silage clamp a little more, because it doesn't seem to want to activate with as little as we have in there. So we're going to take our Land Rover and we're going to go and buy a grass field. And then we're going to give it a quick cut and windrow and collection, and hopefully that will be all of our grass work done. And in that time we should also have some crops ready. So without further ado, here we go. So we'll take the cutter trailer off the back and start her up. So what we'll do is we will go and buy the field, and then we will probably move to the next day, because it's actually quite late in the day on the map now. It's 10 to 7 in the evening, and you wouldn't really start work at this point. You might be finishing work, but you wouldn't start it. So we're going to go to this field here. Now, this field is, I think, about 16,000, if I remember correctly, and it sort of goes up here. So field 13, so it's for sale signs. So it's just over 16,000. So we'll buy this and head home for the evening, and then we'll pick up again in the morning about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Right, it's the following morning. We're back down in the yard and we want to go and get our mower. So we will jump in our International and start her up and go grab our mower. So yeah, sorry that this is our third episode on mowing. The crops haven't quite come right yet, so and there are things we do need to get our cows moving. So by the end of today we should have them all sorted. But it is a case of we do need more grass. So we do the jobs that we have to on the farm. There we go. But we will get all 3 of these jobs done today. I don't plan to do this over 2 episodes. This will be done over a single one, so that we can get it all back and get sorted. We will buy some cows this episode as well, because if we're filling their trough with grass, then we do need to purchase the cows. Here we are. I may, after our harvest, see how much field 14 costs. Because it is, it'd be quite useful, I think, to add another field to our collection. Went a bit too far into it there. One corner. That's along the headland here. So we'll have to avoid this tree. This is a much bigger field than our last one. We should get quite a bit out. I'm hoping that the silage clamp is actually working on this map. I've not had it before where I've had to reach a certain level to get it to work. So, but we only have about 1% in it. So, we'll see how it does. We'll get around the headlands. Yeah, so going around the weeded and the headland bit, quite useful for this. We'll catch the bits we missed at the end. So let's do some in-cab bit. Hopefully we can get through this field quite quickly. Be good. Yeah, so we'll have to come back and do the headland bit here that we've missed. Ooh, that's the wrong button there. Went to turn and didn't quite make it. So I picked this because it's not a massive field, but it is bigger than field 5. So you should get a decent amount of grass off it. I don't want to do too much grass cutting. And this is the longest we've gone on a video without having actually done a harvest yet. But hopefully by the time we have finished this and collected it all up, we should have a crop with any luck. Well, we have a crop that we started with, but we should have all of our other 3 fields completed, and we can then spend a little while doing a harvest. Top of this field curves a lot more than the bottom does, so the angles that we're doing at the bottom of the field are very much sharper to the ones at the top, and we sort of flow around the top of it, and then we have to do sharp turns at the bottom, making for an interesting shape of cut at the bottom. We're doing a lot of sort of hairpin turns now at the bottom, like that, which we then pull back in. But at the top it just sort of all flows round in a big curve, and it's quite difficult to tell where the actual top of the field is once you get onto the sides. Interesting cut. Okay, so hairpin round onto here. And we will get all of it. That's not the problem. That's not a problem. But just making sure that it's all in there. We're making good progress on this now. We still have our lights on though. Lift up this time. Make sure that we're getting everything. We'll not do some hairpins while we're out of cab, as soon as we can see more. Just clear up those bits we missed before. This is an excellent little tractor for this job. It just works perfectly. Of course, in its day, it would have been a much more powerful tractor. Would have been viewed as much more of a workhorse. But as you can see from the, I mean, it's only, I think it's 125 horsepower. This tractor. Which, compared to some of the tractors in the game, is just, you know, pales in comparison. And its little counterpart we have is, yeah, is even less powerful. It's only sort of a 95 horsepower. Avoid missing any grass. Okay, we're nearing the end now. Only a few more rounds to go, I think. It's the fiddly bit, this. Sort of getting round in the little circle that you have left. Let me have a look. Yeah, we do not have a lot of grass left to cut. It's getting smaller and smaller with each turn. As it would, of course. But it's, yeah, not much to go now. I would have thought. Yeah. And turn round, and away we go. I'm tempted to do some forestry on this map, but of course, anyone who follows my series knows there is. I tend to do forestry on a Friday and have a dedicated map for that. Would people be interested in me doing a non-Friday forestry episode? I don't think there's much I can do beyond those things that we do on a Friday. I don't want to talk too much about a different map, but yeah. Would people be interested in me doing some forestry on this map? Oh, such a small triangle left. Okay, we should get this in sort of 2-3 more cuts. And then we'll go and get our windrower and get all this windrowed up so that we can collect it in our forage wagon. Yeah, this should do it. And then we just need to go get that bit at the bottom of the field that we missed. And then we'll go grab our windrower. Get this with a single sweep. Yeah, there we go. should just take us back to the entrance. Corner, and there we are. Right, turn that off, lift it up and fold it. Run back to the farm quickly and grab the windrower. I am still very much loving this map. I think it's a brilliant little map. We are having a few FPS issues coming back into the yard. Just remember to come down off these ramps slower. Right, there we go. Unfold that and lower it down. Right, out we go. Disconnect the PTO, disconnect the trailer or the mower, and off we go again. Oh, windrower's back here, of course. So just grab that quickly. Connect up, connect PTO, and away we go. I do like this little windrower as well. Works a treat. Hopefully we can get this field done fairly quickly with this. Right, I'll fold it out just before we get there. Turn it on, drop it down, and away we go. So I'm tempted to do this like the last field, but in all honesty, I would rather try and keep this as realistic as possible. So I think we'll do one row round like this, and then start going anti-clockwise after that. Just get everything away from the edge first. Then we should be able to do some rows with it after that. Which will allow us to get the forage harvester or the forage wagon round quite quickly with any luck. I do like running games at sort of 5 times. I think it gives it's a little more realistic for the time it would take to do these kind of jobs. Right, so we're going to go around the other way now. More specifically, it's sort of, we'd be going at this 2 hours in game, and I think that's much more realistic than sort of 28, 29 minutes that it would take real time. So, or that it has taken us real time. So I think that it's much better doing it at sort of 5 times. Makes it much more interesting. It means that, you know, a day's work in game feels like a day's work. There we are. So I might start going up and down the field after this. I think. Make some nice rows. We'll make some nice wide rows that way, so we'll only really collect up 2 rows worth, which is what we do with the larger one, to be honest. So, all right. Go around like this. So yeah, a double wide one would probably do this. Well, would collect like this into 2 rows, 2 sets of rows into one. No, I'll lift that up. Okay, so we're about halfway through now. We've got, I think it's 4 runs that way, and we're just finishing the 5th. It's, yeah, we should get a fair amount of grass out of this. I don't know if we might, yeah, we should get a full trailer load, I hope. That would be good. Which means that we can, yeah, feed the cows, get the cows started, and also hopefully get some silage. If the silage doesn't work, I don't quite know what I'm going to do. I'm not sure there's a BGA on this map that we can go and see if there's some clamps on. But it's, yeah, I don't know if it is an amount issue. So I will have to have a look. I will have to do a bit of research. If it doesn't work, we will have to well, I'll have to do some more grass cutting and create some silage bales, which I will, if that is the case, I will do it off camera, because we have done a lot of grass cutting and working on it, so I don't want to do much more of that on camera this series. I think it would be, whoa, I lifted up the back. I think it would be a bit boring to do another episode on that. If I did do it, I might do an episode on the bale wrapping. But to be honest, I have a square baler on this map, and so that would mean changing the bales I plan to do and everything like that. So my preference would be not to go that route. So we'll see how this does. As it is, we are reaching the crest of the field. So shouldn't have that many more rows, I don't think. Yeah, not that many more rows to go. Look at that scenery. Wow, that is just incredible. That is the thing that I love about this map more than anything else. Is it's just a fantastic place to play. You know, it's a fantastic place to just look around you. For that, I think it's awesome. It really is. Yeah. I think if there's anything I'm going to miss from FS17 off the bat, it's going to be old tractors like this. I mean, I know they've made it easier to convert stuff across, but there's a vast array. If you want to have some older tractors on your farm at the moment, there's a vast array of mods that you can grab. Whereas for sort of the base game, you're restricted to not much more than the Deutz. You know, the Agrostar, which of course is making its way across. But it's, yeah, I would like to have something like these internationals. Or, as I've said previously, I would love an old David Brown. David Brown from the late 70s, early 80s. That would be fantastic. There are a couple out of there that are mid-80s ones, or early 80s ones, that are sort of the point at which they were bought out by Case. And yeah, I would prefer, and I'm not a huge fan of the shape of those. I'd much prefer a good old late 70s one. Right, so there we go. Turn that off and hold it up. We'll go and get our forage wagon. Right, so we'll just drop this off. Yeah. Turn our beacon off. Drop it down. Jump out. Raise PTO and then drop it off. Just looking at the Fendt weight on the front of this tractor, I did notice that they've got, I'm not sure it's Fendt weights, but certainly from the manufacturers of the Fendt tractors, they've got their weights in the next game, which is great. Oh, right, we want to use this little Fendt, so open door. Oh, we need to connect up the trailer first, so connect up our forage wagon. In we get. Close the door. Start her up. get loading up the Forage Wagon. So we'll get the stuff around the edge first. And go from there. I'm going to treat this a little bit differently. I think we're going to start at the top of the field and work our way down. That way we've got gravity helping us in our turns. Collect a little bit as we go up though. Okay, and there's our top one. We missed a couple of bits. I'll have to grab those. Thought we'd missed a massive patch there. Just the sunlight. But we do want to, because of the small amount that we have, we do want to make sure we pick it all up. So. Right, I'm going to take every other road because it's easier to get around the corners that way. And makes for a quicker collection. There we go. So, yeah, so that is collecting up that quite quickly. And we'll go back up to the top with this one and do the same again. 63%, that's good. That's almost as much as we had off the... in fact, now, that is the entirety that we had off the previous field. So, yeah, buying this field has been a very good idea. Okay, last two rows. Oh no, last two rows. That's over the other side of the hill, and then we'll be done. Depending on how full we are, we might try and pick up the scraps, but for once it would appear that we may not need to. $85. If we have space, we'll pick them up. I think we might. We're not going to get a full trailer. We're close, but we're not quite there. So we'll go pick up these bits that are around the field, and then we'll head back. And we'll buy some cows. Now we don't want to buy too many that we can't get our straw blower, so although we should be able to sell some wheat and barley in order to afford it. 93% I think is going to be roughly where we are. These little piles won't give us too much. Yeah, I think it's going to be 93%. Oh, 94 just. Right, lift it up, turn it off, and back to the yard we go. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's been a good purchase, that field. And yeah, that's got us the extra grass we need, I think. So we will go and buy some cows and tip this into their feed trough. There we go. Right. So, to get our straw blower, we need 19,000. And we have 37. So we have 20,000. So we could actually buy 6 cows. I think. 1. There we go. 6 cows. And then we will empty some grass for them. Wow. They take a lot of grass. There we go. 20, nearly, yeah, about 70% of what we got in that field. That's a lot of grass. And our fields have come right. So perfect. So next episode we will be doing the harvest. This episode we are just going to finish off this and fill this up. We're at 79% compacted. So we'll just run over it a few times and get it up to total. 95, 97. There we go, fully compacted. Although not got... Slightly worrying that we haven't got the ability to cover it. I'm going to have to look into that, because if I can't, then I'm not quite sure what I can do. I don't think you can... No. You can't pick it up again. Okay. So we'll just get this back to the yard. Oh, I'm hoping the landy is not in the way. There we go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please like, share and comment. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Goodbye.